be going on 3 weeks, maybe. 3 weeks since I have made a video, yapped and tapped, or typed. I can say with confidence that I've been very busy. Very, very busy. Today's video is just gonna be what I'll call a yap and tap, but it's typing. I've got my one mic hooked up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my other one. Okay, and I'm gonna leave that over here by my keyboard and my mouse so you can get the best clicky sounds ever. I still haven't done like a keyboard tour or whatever, or my computer setup, so maybe that'll be a next video for you. I hope you all have been doing well. What's the weather like where you all are? Feel free to comment any answers if you feel like it. If not, no worries. Today is rainy, but it's warm. Thankfully, it's about 68 today where I'm at, and warm. We haven't quite gotten into the season where it's super muggy, humid, thankfully. I've got some afternoon coffee with me because I've got homework to do. So, my new job is a reading instructor position. So right now I'm learning everything that I'll be essentially teaching kids to do. Plus, a little extra. So I've been getting a little frustrated learning the material because the training that I'm going through right now is an intensive 6 to 8 weeks of training. And it's a lot of information. So I'm doing my best to retain everything. Along with learning new things, I have to practice a lot. And what I'm practicing at home is like exercises I do with the kids. So not like physical exercises, but all the exercises are around reading and spelling. So I can't go into detail about what exactly I do. I signed a quadruple agreement. I signed an NDA, a non-solicitation. I signed a non-compete. Oh, and I was trying to think of the last one. An intellectual resignation or termination. Lots of information that I'm learning. I do kind of feel like I'm back in school, but it's been a while since I've actually struggled learning something. So it makes it that much more eye-opening about the population we're working with, kids. Occasionally, we do get high schoolers at the place, but they all come because they have some issues with reading and spelling. This week is week 2 of training. Week 2. I also got my first paycheck this week. I actually got paid 2 days early. So I'm really excited about that. Although I told myself and I told my boyfriend that we're not spending anything until we talk about all of our bills this pay cycle and stuff like that. Him and I are pretty bad about getting a snack after work and a little drink. There is a Wawa near us that opened up this year, or was it late last year? I don't remember. But so it's hard not to go to Wawa or to a Speedway or to any other gas station around here and get a snack. We really gotta, be disciplined about that. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I just need a little snack. I told myself that there are snacks at home. Right now we have some bananas, some blueberries, and there's a couple mandarins left. I'm pretty sure they're mandarins and not clementines. But I also have some fries and some chicken tendies in the freezer that I can just pop in the oven. So I've got a lot of work things going on in my brain and in my life. I have to travel to get to work like most people, but so this job is technically part-time. So I'll have this part-time job, and then if you've seen my other videos, you know that I run a cookie business. So now that it is March, and actually this coming weekend is daylight savings time. Daylight savings time. Now, you're either one of two people when it comes to time change. You either really hate it or you're happy to have more sunlight. I mean, I think we can all agree that we like more sunlight time, but losing an hour of sleep for the birds. So what I was saying was that, like most people, I'm traveling for work. Last week I was just very tired from all the driving I'm doing. And, working 5 days in a row. Now you're probably thinking that's normal, because it is. It's pretty normal for people to work 5 days in a row. My last job that wasn't cookie based, so when I was at the bakery, I worked 4 days. I had a 4-day work week, which was really nice. I think we should all have a 4-day work week. Friday is the weekend, so why do we have to work on Friday? Friday is the weekend. Anyway, so I've been pretty tired, and the weekend was super needed to kind of recuperate and recharge. So my body's getting used to, getting up about the same time and getting ready and reviewing my material and then driving and then being in the classroom and stuff. So it really does feel like school. I don't get to actually teach kids until the end of training. So somewhere between week 6 and 8 is when I'll start solo teaching. I'm pretty nervous for solo teaching. I will be right back. I need to find a tissue. With this weather just going up and down. Your girl has allergy problems, so BRB. I just realized that I did not take an allergy pill today, so that's probably why. I got some new creamers yesterday, day before. They're the Nut Pods brand. I have the flavors vanilla and sweet cream. So I tried the vanilla for the first time, and it is just delightful. Now, should I have had a coffee this late in the afternoon? Probably not. But I've been feeling just really tired after training. And I'd like to stay up a little bit. I have homework to do, and then, my boyfriend comes home from work after I do, so I'd like to see him and maybe hang out, play some sim. He helped me download the One Piece sim, so I've been playing that. I've been thinking about making a video one day doing a recording of me playing sim against somebody. I think that would be fun. I wouldn't do much typing. I would just be like clicking with my mouse and probably just talking to you all. Maybe giving a play-by-play or I don't know. That could be fun. So, cookies. I think I have some open ends with my yapping. I've told you all, I am a certified yapper. Certified yapper. So I will just talk to the cows come home. And most of the time I will forget what I'm saying. I will forget. So, Valentine's Day. I feel like Valentine's was a success. A success. Success. Cookie-wise. I had someone comment on one of my cookie social media pages and tell me that the cookies helped make their Valentine weekend special, and that made me feel really good. That's part of my whole purpose, So, I don't know if I've told you. I don't know what I've told you. To be honest, I yap. I'm a certified yapper. But when I started my cookie business, it was named in breast cell tumor. And it was nasty, it was aggressive, and it was not fair. So I named the cookie business for her. She was a calico cat. And, part of my mission was to bring the love and joy that my cat mama brought me, just bring it to the community and whoever eats a cookie from me. And the other part of starting it was for me. So starting and running the business was to honor my cat mama and to honor myself. I thought about starting a cookie business when I was in college. I'll call it college part one. College part one for me is undergrad, and then college part two for me is graduate school. I actually moved out of state for college part two. I moved from where I'm at kind of right now all the way to the West Coast to California. I feel like I've told y'all some of this before. Sorry if I'm repeating. That's what happens when you a certified yapper. You forget. I be forgetting. But I felt like I had a successful Valentine's weekend, and now that it is March, we're gearing up for the spring box. I have yet to come up with flavors, but I have leftover stuff. Like I have cans of dark cherries that I may try to incorporate into the spring box. I'm thinking about using Peeps and maybe some other spring Easter candy, because we all know that spring is, like merchandise wise and product wise, is really geared towards Easter. And so while I'm not going to do anything Easter themed, I'm going to do spring themed. I love spring. I'm a spring baby. My birthday is actually next month, April. Fun fact, I was actually born on Holy Thursday. If you're Catholic or you grew up Catholic, you know what Holy Thursday is. That's just what it's called. For non-Catholics or people who don't practice religion at all, that's the Thursday before Jesus died, apparently, for our sins. I will not go into any of that because I am a non-practicing Catholic. I left the church a long time ago for various reasons. Maybe that's another video, but good chance that it's not. But my goal is to make a spring themed box. I'm looking at bringing back the Madeline. So the cookies I had for Valentine's Day, or the Valentine's box rather, was a strawberry vanilla Madeline. I had a raspberry and cream cookie. Oh my gosh, I think I forgot my cookies. I had a cherry almond chip. That's 4. No, that's 3. Oh my gosh, I can't count. So the Madeline, the raspberry, the cherry almond chip, like the first time I've tried any of these before, but I really think the red velvet crinkle came out well for my first time. Of course, I did demos, so I made it before, but it was like my first time trying it, just for the business. And I think the trick to get a really awesome crinkle cookie is when you make your dough and you know, weigh it all out to whatever your desired weight is per cookie. Mine is 3 ounces, 3 ounces per cookie, minus the Madeline, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So I do 3 ounces per cookie. And then with the red velvet crinkle, once I have rolled it into my dough ball, I would roll it in granulated sugar or baker's sugar. The only difference between granulated and baker's sugar is that baker's sugar is finer, but it's not too fine. So it's in between granulated sugar and confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar. I think in the UK it's called caster sugar. You may also hear it be called superfine, I think, in some places, but I just call it baker's sugar. And then, so once you've rolled it in the sugar, you put it in the fridge, you chill the dough. If anybody watches any of my videos where I talk about cookies and you have cookie questions, don't be shy, drop them in the comments. Yes, I may be learning some things on the fly as a first-time business owner, but I have over 8 decades worth of kitchen experience, and that does include bakery. And, you know, just what I've learned from running a cookie business. No question is stupid. Ask away. If I can't give you a good answer or I can't answer your question, I apologize. We'll learn it together. Crap, where was I? Yes, so you chill the dough ball after you've rolled it in sugar, and then right before you bake it, take that same dough ball and dip it heavily into powdered sugar. Like, I mean, cake the powdered sugar on there. And then you put it on your tray, whatever, and you bake it, and then it comes out looking pretty good. And I find that the heavier you cake it in powdered sugar before it goes into the oven, the better the powdered sugar will come out looking from the oven. Now, I've had issues with my crinkle cookies where the powdered sugar, you could kind of tell, melted a little bit. I don't know how to really describe it, but instead of being super white, it looks grayer. That's still not really the best description, but I'm trying based off memory here. I'm trying to think of my last cookie. So I have the Madeline, the raspberry, the cherry, the red velvet. I'm thinking, ooh, it's not coming to me. Oh my gosh, am I really that bad right now? I've just had so much information in my head that I've forgotten. Let me take a look at my Facebook page. I have an Instagram and a Facebook for my cookie page, cookie business. So I'm gonna go to my profile. Oh, that's why. Okay. So that's a mental note going forward. If I can't remember what the cookie is, then maybe try something else that's memorable, because if a customer can remember it, that's a good sign. So the last cookie was the Valentine Brookie. And so basically, that one was just the base of my chocolate chip cookie. And then I put Valentine M&Ms in it. Oh, sorry, I misspoke. So it was the base of my chocolate chip cookie and then the base of a brownie recipe that I got out of my cookie book. And I just would take a little piece of each dough and put it together and make it into one cookie dough ball. Brookie. So, some ideas I've had are to use Peeps. I'll just call it Easter candy because that's what it's geared towards, is Easter. For Valentine's, I also bought a box of food dyes, so each little bottle of dye is like this tall. And I had a lot of fun using those. I also, like I mentioned in a previous video, I did cookie cakes. So I made a couple heart cookie cakes, and then I also did a 9-inch round cookie cake that was actually a special order for my boyfriend's mom for somebody out their work because somebody was retiring. And the requested colors were red, white, and blue. And along with a box of food dye, I also got piping tips, different piping bags. Like, I got some big ones and I got some small ones. And then I also got like a cake turntable so I could put my cookie cake on it and turn it as I ice it, pipe icing onto it. And so the requested colors for that round cake was red, white, and blue. So I did something totally new to me that I tried. I had seen it on probably Facebook. I watch a lot of videos on there, like baking related in any form. So icing, dough mixing, whatever. If it's on there, I'm gonna watch it. And so one day I saw this lady. She had like put a piece of plastic wrap on her table. It was like, I guess we'll call it rectangle shaped, just one piece. And then she made like different colors. So for mine, I used red, white, and blue. So I piped a nice strip of red, a strip of white, and a strip of blue. And then I rolled it together like, think like a Tootsie Roll, So it was just a log, and you could see the three different colors in the log. And so, as I was piping it, when I first started piping with that, I was like, I think I just made toothpaste. Because it was like the colors of Colgate or something like that. I was like, oh man. And either way, my boyfriend's mom really was happy with the cake, and the guy who received it for retirement really loved it. Because I bake from home, I'm a cottage baker, I have to use approved icings and stuff. So I have to use icings that are non-TCS, which means they don't require refrigeration. Oh my gosh, I almost stumbled on that word. Refrigeration. So I do a shelf-stable buttercream, essentially. And the recipe calls for powdered sugar, milk, vanilla, and of course butter. That's the main star. So yeah, I sold a few heart-shaped cookie cakes. I sold one round cake, and so for spring, I'm thinking about offering either a round cookie cake, or if I can find like an egg-shaped mold, I think I might do that. I am pretty loyal to this cake shop that's near me, but we recently checked and they don't really have a lot of boxes for the spring season. They were honest and they said that that they don't always have seasonal boxes. So for fall and Thanksgiving, they had boxes with, fall colored leaves. And then around Christmas time in winter, they had boxes that were blue, and then it looked like they had like figure skaters on there and other like snow related things. So right now all they have is like, there was a couple pink boxes, there was some like gold foil looking boxes. So I may check Michael's this weekend and see what they have, because I know they already started setting out their spring and Easter stuff. And I think last time I went there was an egg mold, but it was like two halves of an egg. And I'm not gonna lie, if I used that mold for a cookie cake, that's a lot of cookie. And I wouldn't really know how to package that. I guess I could always experiment with it and do like a filled egg. So I think the two halves come in one package, so I could take one half and put the cookie in it, and then maybe put like chocolate or some other kind of fruit filling. Ooh, I'm onto something. Let me take notes. Let's see. I'm glad we had this talk because I'm getting great ideas. But yeah, so I could fill it with the fudge that I use for my fudge delight or fudge deluxe cookie, or I could do like a fruit filling or something, and then instead of having two halves, I could just do another layer of cookie on top, so it's like sandwiched in there. The filling is sandwiched, and then I guess I'd flip it back over and it would bake like that. Instructions unclear. I guess I just have to F around and find out. That's how we do it around here. And then, once it's all cooled and everything, I can take it out of the mold, because you never ever want to take your cookie cake immediately out of its mold or pan, because it will break and you will be sad. I did not have a cake absolutely fall apart on me, but I noticed that if I tried to even move, so for instance, my heart cakes, I mostly used a silicone mold, and when I tried to pick it up, like the cake would start to crack, and I was like, okay, absolutely not. Let's not even bother it. So always let your cake cool until you can safely remove it from your mold or your pan without it cracking and breaking apart. And then, so once it's completely cooled, I guess I would flip it over. And I think the mold that I'm thinking about at Michael's has had 2 Madelines and I did not weigh them, so I don't know if that equated 3 ounces or not, so I may have to add in another Madeline to make it 3 ounces. Yeah. Weigh my Madelines. That's my note to self. So I'd like to do Madelines. Where the heck did it go? Ah, okay. So I want to bring back Madelines. I'd like to try shortbread, and I've seen some cute molds or cutters or whatever at Michael's. What I was saying was that I'm pretty loyal to the cake shop I go to because they have all kinds of tools, materials, and food items and stuff. But there are just some things that I'm gonna have to go somewhere else for. Sorry, Mr. B. So Madeline shortbread, and Michael's has some really cute, I don't know what you call them, cutters, cookie molds, like for individual cookies. I don't know, but I may try them. I think they're shaped like eggs or little chicks or something. I don't remember. So Madeline's shortbread. I want to do something with Peeps. I'm not a huge Peep fan. I can tolerate Peeps maybe like 1 or 2 in any given year, and then that's it. I just am not that fond of them. So that's 3 cookies. Well, potentially. I need some regular cookies. Like I said, I have a ton of almonds, and I have a few cans of cherries. I may just even use those cherries to bake something for the house, like maybe try a pastry or something one day. I'm thinking. And I've got all kinds of colors in that box of food coloring I bought, and I can make a lot of colors too, so I'm really excited to have that. I'm thinking. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and save my notes for my desktop. We'll call it Spring Notes. Save. I guess this is where I'll leave you. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off my other mic. And I'm feeling kind of hungry now. So I'm gonna go and try to find me something to eat in the kitchen. But yeah, I think I need to think about what I want to do for cookies. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed spending time with me. I enjoy spending time with you, yapping and tapping. And I will see you next time.